Recycling in the way, and I went to town the other day. I was supposed to bring it, didn't donate it to the fire station, but when I went to town, I came back with some boards. So yeah, here's the tongue and groove that I'm using. I'll bring you over to show you the coop because I've already done one side and I'm getting the second side filled in right now. But yeah, I got all this in the escape, so yeah, the escape is just long enough to get an 8-foot board in, so it's pretty much perfect. So I'm gonna make this cut and then bring it over there, and I'll bring you guys out once I get this nailed up, and I'll show you how it's coming along. And I gotta put a divider on that nesting box. I got a piece over there I'm gonna use. So yeah, chicken coop is going well. I'll show you when we get over there. I almost forgot I was gonna pull you out. Man, those potatoes are like almost done. It's not even July yet. Definitely have some baby new potatoes in there. Here's the coop. It's a 4x3 footprint. It's got 3 nesting boxes, and there's some slides over so you can get access behind the nesting boxes to get the eggs. Enough room for 5 or 6 chickens probably pretty easily. And then this area will be fenced in. You got a metal roof, and there's chicken wire here, but I'm gonna have a piece of wood cut out that when winter comes I can just slide it in there, and then it will be covered for the winter. And I'll have openings on the bottom here when I'm done with chicken wire that will also be covered in the winter. So I'll cut the wood and just have it under the porch over here. So when fall comes, I'll just slide the pieces of wood and seal this off. And then I guess I'm gonna probably get a solar powered light, some sort of solar powered light that will go in here that'll run for like 3 or 4 hours every night during the winter. I think if you supplement light like that, you'll get more eggs in the winter. So I'm gonna try that. Yeah, it's gonna be my first livestock project. I've never had animals, like food animals, ever before, so we'll see how it goes. Chickens should be easy. But yeah, this building's gonna be done soon. I'm gonna clear coat it. As soon as I'm done, I'm gonna clear coat it, and then it'll probably be another week or 2 before I get birds, and I'll let that clear coat really soak in and then dry before I get the birds. So yeah, I'll bring you back one more time when I'm just finishing the last bit. You know, I might not have enough wood to do the door and everything. I think I have enough wood to do all 3 sides, but the door I'm probably gonna have to go and get 4 or 5 more boards from the mill before I can get the door done. And I wanted to do 2 half doors, you know, where when you open the top one, it opens both, but you can also open the bottom one by itself. That's how I want to do it, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that. At Walmart they only had 2 hinges, door hinges there, you know, for sale. So I don't have a lot of hinges. I thought I had 2 more somewhere from my last building project, but I can't find them. So I'm gonna go through some stuff and try to find them. But the door is always the hardest part of these freaking things, because you know it's got to be just right, you know, so it'll open and shut, and so it doesn't sag and everything. But if I could do like a stable door with 2 tiers on it, and that opened, you know, like, so the bottom will open separately, so when I let the birds out I can just open the bottom in the morning, but when I get in there to clean I can open the whole door so I can get in there completely. So yeah, here it goes, chicken coop, almost done. All right, so I'm working on the chicken coop again today. It's over there. Working on the door, and that's pretty much it, because the boards that go on the bottom don't go on until winter. I still got to staple up some chicken wire on the bottom, but then after the door is on, that's all I'll have to do is the chicken wire on the bottom. So here's the dream. The dream is to have one long door separated though 1/3 of the way up, so 2/3 at the top and then 1/3 at the bottom, and make it so when you open the top door, both doors open at the same time. Like there'll be a little hand that grabs it, grabs the bottom door. But then when I open the bottom door, the top door stays shut. And then I can just let the chickens out in the morning out the bottom door. And then that way when I want to clean it, I can open the whole thing up and get in there easily. But then the rest of the year I can keep the heat in there and try not to disturb the birds too much. When I let them out every morning, I'll just open the bottom. So that's the plan, but I'm gonna build the door, the whole door first, and hang it and see how that goes. And if it looks like it's going to not sag or anything, and it looks like it's holding up pretty good, then I might cut it. I'll cut it at the 24-inch mark, so I have the 2 doors. But first, I just want to get a door on there that works, and then if it looks like it's nice and stable and I did a good job, then I'll cut it and try to go for the double-decker door that I'm looking for. That's what I want on there, because that's probably more proper, especially in the winter. In the winter, when I let them out in the morning, I don't want to open the whole coop. I want to just open the bottom up. So yeah, that's what I'm working on. Just getting the first braces on, and I'll do cross like a cross brace across the door so it doesn't sag. And we're gonna do doubles. You'll see. We're gonna do doubles though. So I'm gonna make these couple cuts and then nail this all together, and then I'll bring you back when there's a whole door ready to be hung, and then we'll decide if we're gonna cut it in half now. Maybe I'll just hang it and let it be done for a little while, and then decide if I want to cut the door later or not. Maybe I'll cut it this fall right before winter. But yeah, I don't know, I'll decide. I'm gonna get the door finished first. Look at Bun. I left that kale for her. That good? But I just scared her. She was over here. I just dumped some corn water, like drained out a can of corn. And I knew she was gonna find it as soon as she smells that corn water. It's like her favorite thing. I should have put it in a bowl for her and saved it for her. I should probably put some corn out for her. But yeah, here's the back of the door. I still gotta flip it over and cut one more edge so it will fit the space that it's going in perfectly. And then we're gonna put these hinges that I got here on it, and then hang her up and see how she does. It's July 3rd today, so getting this done. It's a beautiful day, 75 degrees, perfectly sunny. It's gonna be the same tomorrow and July 4th. Let's talk about a perfect July weekend. No humidity, it's insane. Like, this is a July 4th sent from the gods. Look at this little guy. I didn't think he liked the kale because he kept on avoiding it the last couple days. But he does like it. She does like it. I think she's a female, this one. It's so funny, they just eat with no hands. They bite it at the stem and then eat it until it's all gone. And they eat all of that. Like a lot of the wild things I see them eat, they'll just eat the stem or the leaf. They don't eat both. But whenever I put lettuce or kale out, they eat the whole thing. So it must be some good stuff compared to the natural stuff. Alright, well, a little problem with the door. It turns out this door hole is not as square as it should have been. Yeah, it's been a pain. I've been wrestling with it for a while. But it's too tight up here and too tight down there, so I'm gonna have to take it off again and trim it, and I might cut it in half because I think it actually might go on here a little bit easier in 2 halves actually. Hopefully if I do that I don't regret it. But yeah, it's not closing right now. The bottom's too tight there. If I had a sander, I might be able to just sand it real quick a little bit. And it's really tight up top too. But that should be easy stuff. I just gotta trim it a little bit with the saw, cut it back a little bit. Which sucks, it was a nice straight cut on the top, and I know when I go to do that thin slice, I never do those thin slices really straight and square. So yeah, I don't know. we'll see what happens. I'm gonna work on it tomorrow. Tomorrow's 4th of July though, so I'm probably not gonna work on it too much, but I do want to get it finished. But I probably should just cut it, and then the 2 pieces will be a lot lighter and easier to deal with. So with one person, it's kind of hard hanging the door because you're trying to get the space underneath and everything, and it's heavy door, you know. It's hard to do. So yeah, we'll see what I come up with, but I'm giving up for the night. It's getting dark. Potatoes are looking beautiful. The whole garden is looking epic. I was thinking I might light that fire up. I have some boxes that need to be burned. And it's the 3rd of July, pretty good night to have a fire. I'm gonna go and grab some wood out of the pile, but man, look, more potatoes, green beans, kale, tons of squash. This place is looking epic. Micro homesteading, crushing it. 4th of July, plantation. I guess that was all of them. Well, putting the fence up finally around this chicken coop. See, that edge is all done. So put the fence up. It's like 3.5 feet off the ground, and then it's like 8 inches that'll be buried. That whole 8 inches will be buried kind of like this. So when things dig down, they can't dig under it. Get this whole thing done. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do to get in and out of here. It kind of sags in the back in this double fencing because there's a whole garden back there. So I might just try to step over that right there in the back whenever I need to get in here. But now I gotta get birds because this grass will get crazy. I don't have a weed whacker right now, so I don't have a way to get in here and take care of this grass without the lawnmower. So once this fence is in, I'll be pulling all this grass up by hand, or I'll need to get a weed whacker eventually here. But I really need to get these chickens. I hadn't gotten these chickens. This coop has been done for like 2 months now, but I've been really broke. This is a really broke time of the year for me, so I don't have any money right now, and it's gonna cost like, I want to get at least enough for like 6 months of food, some bedding to lay down in there, which is pretty cheap. The food is gonna be like 75 bucks, plus I need to buy the birds. I'm looking to buy birds that are already laying, which are pretty expensive this year. More like double what they usually are because the world's coming to an end basically. But anyways, the chickens are really expensive, so they're gonna be about 50 bucks a piece, and I want 3 to 5 of them. We'll live comfortably in that thing. So I'm gonna get the fence down today, and hopefully in the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I'll be able to come up with the money. I mean, if I don't get them this winter, then next spring I'll do hatchlings, which is a lot cheaper, but it takes like pretty much all summer for them to start laying eggs. So I really don't want to do that. I need to find at least 3 egg-laying hens that I can put in there this winter. So I'm on Uncle Henry's and Craigslist. If I find a good deal on them, I'll get them, but again, I have to come up with some money. Hopefully I'm gonna have some work coming through and some internet monies coming through in the next couple weeks, and I have a bunch of bills to take care of. So I don't know, coming up with the extra 150 bucks is hard, but I do want to have eggs here. It would make my life a lot easier, and half of my protein costs would be taken care of once I have eggs hanging around that I can use. So I do need to get eggs. If I could have 3 eggs a day coming out of this thing, I mean, that would take care of all my protein needs if I wanted to. Obviously, I still want to eat chicken and beef, but I could cut a lot of that out, at least during the most broke time of my year, which is right now, during the summer. During the summer, I got lots of vegetables to eat, lots of food to eat, but I usually don't have a lot of money coming in at all, so I've usually spent all the money I had managed to get the last season, last fall all together. So yeah, putting the fence in. Hopefully I get these chickens soon.